So yeah, GM, welcome everybody. Wake and Jake, I think this is episode 3, I believe. But we are the show with high-level insights and even higher hosts. Each Monday, we're kind of rolling out of bed, getting the week started, and kicking off the conversation, covering the important things that you shouldn't miss for the week. The format of the show is going to remain the same. It's just really loose. Me and Jake will spark up some topics, some conversation, but we're happy to pass the microphone around to anybody that wants to partake. So we got a couple things that we want to talk about, some upcoming mints, just some shout outs, also some MVHQ news. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll start with some of the MVHQ stuff just because we've got a pretty packed week today for MVHQ, some stuff to be excited about. Tomorrow is going to be Alpha Launch 3. Very, very cool, very big stuff happening, and we'll cover that more tomorrow in a town hall. So definitely mark your calendars for the town hall tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be able to answer all your questions and kind of cover what exactly we're trying to accomplish with Alpha Launch 3. And then one more other MVHQ thing that I just want to shout out, because you'd be kicking yourself if you missed it, or at least didn't give it consideration. The Gunzilla investment opportunity is closing. And that is going to be closed by like the end of the episode. Maybe we'll keep a little window open for some stragglers. So if you haven't yet looked at the Gunzilla docs or sent over the USDC, if you did want to participate, definitely go give that a shout. Go to HQ announcements, scroll up a little bit. You'll see all the information there. Pretty hyped game. Really big names that are involved in this. The allocations are pretty difficult to come by, and most people that get allocations max it out, the other groups and stuff. So it's a big opportunity that we have for you folks. Definitely give it a look if you haven't yet. And if you had forgot to, send over that USDC, this is your kind of last call, final warning. With all of that out of the way, or sorry, did you want to add anything there, Jake? Any of the MVHQ stuff?
No, I think you covered it great. Yeah. Some exciting stuff that we're working on. We got some nice partners here in this alpha launch that I think provide some value to you guys. So yeah, check it out in our town hall later. We'll go over more of our plans, give you some alpha.
Absolutely. All right, good shit. Well, let's go ahead and get into first topic. We're going to go ahead and go straight into what's burning. So, kind of what is the hottest thing in the streets right now? What are most people spending their time doing? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think it's still Solana shitcoins. I think that there's still a lot of action going on there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Jake, what are you hearing? What are you feeling on the Solana shitcoin streets?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with shitters. They're still doing well as the entire market's kind of been taking a hit lately. So I think people, we talked about it last episode too, but I think people, are rotating a bit into different plays as the main, coins, ETH and Bitcoin cool off, as well as some of these hot alts like like Inge and Tia and all these other names that we've been hearing lately. They've been cooling off as well a bit, with just the greater market going down because of this GBTC selling that we've been seeing in the billions on Bitcoin. I think it's kind of affecting all the market. But yeah, as far as so people are kind of like rotating, I guess, is my theory, at least into smaller cap plays, NFTs, as well as shit coins that they can degen on a little bit more. And there's been some pretty big movers. Win is one of them. I think Drake shouted them out. Actually, Anita Max Win. I think it was like adjacent, maybe Drake adjacent. It's like a Drake account. I think that he owns like some apparel account that shouted out the hats that Anita Max Win is, and so that's been ripping a good amount as well. And then a lot of other stuff going on. That we had the name, the huge name feud on Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night, where this is ridiculous. But this is crypto land, right? Everything is pretty ridiculous. But basically, there's a whole dispute on what the dog from Dog with Hats actual name was. I think first people thought it was like Bora, and then there was I think another one was like Shiru, and then people thought it was Chi-Chi because they found the original post from the person. This is so ridiculous to talk about. But they found the original post from the breeder of the dog who where the hat came from in like 2018 is when that original picture got posted. The dog with hat, and then she said the same was Chi Chi. Um, but then out of nowhere, the actual owner of the dog comes out and says that the dog's name is actually Achi. And then so thankfully I was doing nothing that night. I just got back from a little bit of a night out, and I wanted to see what's going on in the shitcoin streets, and I was monitoring the whole situation. And I came across this, and I did my own little Instagram research to make sure this was true for the Achi token. So I posted in MVHQ and the shitcoins. I think a lot of people got in on it, and it's done pretty well since. It's drawed back down a little bit, around like 1.2 million or something like that. But it was a nice little cook for the fam on a Saturday night. So that was fun and also ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah, hell yeah, great call on that. I wish I didn't have push to talk because it's so awkward to like. I'm dying over here laughing. Like try to dox the dog. Yeah, well said. As far as like this is just like fully explains crypto, just the fucking absolute state of things. I'm just picturing people like putting earmuffs over the dog as like they're arguing like no, his name's whatever. Like what the hell? What are we talking about here? But hey, man. That's the alpha, though, right? Whoever can dox the dog first, you got a clear lane there to front run everybody else on the shitcoin. I had no idea about the Drake cosign though. That's kind of crazy. It's a pretty big deal, and I'm glad that something did pump after somebody like Drake pushes it. Just reminder that we're kind of in the bull, right? Like during the bear, sometimes celebrities would chill shit and it just doesn't move. So it's good to know.
Yeah, overall, it kind of feels like we're in a weird zone right now as far as the market goes. Just with things, um, macro wise, kind of dumping for coins just because of all this GBTC selling. Um, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to pick spots. You kind of just have to pick your spots a little bit on like lower cap stuff. Like I think there's still plenty to look forward to. There's some airdrops. I think Jupe is coming on the 31st, and I think something called Alt, which is going to the Tia stakers on that's on the 25th. So I think that's Thursday. That's dropping, and then BYM is dropping. I want to say the 29th. It was in JD did an upcoming week report earlier today. And it was in that report as well. Um,
Yeah, good shout.
yeah, there's
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was just saying there's some nice liquidity coming up. Especially the Jupe airdrop. That one should be worth a ton since Jupe is like the biggest DEX um on Solana right now. So that should be a very nice boost to the entire Solana ecosystem. So I think it's kind of one of those things where I'm largely like on the projects that I feel good about. I'm largely kind of holding at the moment, waiting for a little bit more liquidity to come, even if there's a little bit of a bleed. And still looking at things. I'm still pretty optimistic on where we're going right now. It's just might be a little consolidation time since we did have such a high run up at the end of the last year.
Yeah, totally. Good call on the sort of cyclone of like airdrops that is about to be like unlocking and finishing up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my calendar up here and kind of just go over a few of these. It's probably a good point to give a couple shout outs, some upcoming things that you can still participate in. So you mentioned the Jupe unlock, the Dimension unlock is coming. There is some stuff that's still active that you can go ahead and jump on before it closes. And again, big shout out to JD on the upcoming calendar, helping keep us all straight. I'm going to drop some links here in Voice Hangout chat, but just a couple quick ones that you can do right here. If you've done any smart layer farming, you do actually have to migrate your pass. It's a required step to get the airdrop. It's pretty easy. In theory, I'm actually still struggling with it. You just go to this link. I'll drop it in Voice Hangout chat as soon as I'm done monologuing. And then it'll say, like, you won't see the button. You just have to wait for a second. It'll like queue you up, and then like it'll just auto refresh and show you a button to switch to Polygon and then a button to claim. I'm struggling on the claim button itself. It's kind of failing on me, but it does seem like it is required. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link in the voice hangout chat, and then talk about the next one here. All right, so there's the smart layer link if you've been farming that. Okay, yeah, as I've seen the last 2 days, it's taken longer. So I guess just hammer that button, because yeah, it is going to be a required step. Don't want to lose the points if you've done them. And then the other one that is this week, the Mintpass free claim is going to be ending on the 24th, so Wednesday. And this is just a free claim. You kind of just connect your wallet, and then I think you scroll, or like you flip through this like little book. It's got like 5 or 6 pages that kind of just does like a summary of your wallet history. And then at the end, there's a free claim there, and that is going to close on Wednesday. So might as well. I know a lot of us have a lot of volume and stuff and accolades on our wallets, so definitely makes sense to go in there and claim that. And then finally, and Relic kind of hinted towards this in Voice Hangout chat, and Meg and him are talking about the frame claim. Now, the frame claim is going to end on the 25th. So if you have not yet claimed your frame tokens, you don't actually get the tokens. You just kind of go and click confirm and like claim them on their front end. But you definitely want to do that. Don't leave it out on the table. It's been open for months now, I believe. So if you've managed to let it slip through the cracks, go hit up frame and claim those tokens. So yeah, those were the shout outs that I had prepared for the show. Jake, are there any others that you kind of have either off the top or that you had thought through?
Yeah, another big one actually, that we didn't touch on yet, but just came out this morning is Magic Eden is seems like they're launching a token. They haven't like explicitly said that, but based on this whole thread that they did, they're doing it the regulatory compliant way. So what they're doing is they formed a DAO called the non-fungible DAO, and they're decentralizing all their protocols. So they're putting all their protocols in the hands, their NFT marketplaces, in the hands of this DAO, and that's going to be governed by, they say, the token is called NFT itself, which is a pretty good ticker for a token. So that's gonna be a huge one. Obviously, Magic Eden's a very big platform. It's lost some market share to Tensor on the Solana side, but it's the biggest one for Ordinals on the Bitcoin side right now. So I would anticipate that being a very nice platform. They have a lot of good connections as well. They raised a lot of money. Magic Eden has. So I would assume that they'd be able to be listed on some nice exchanges pretty soon, I would anticipate. And also I know they have they're doing like the ape marketplace as well. They're working with Yuga on something as well. So a lot of deep connections with Magic Eden. I anticipate it being a very nice airdrop. They say in the thread, let me link it in Voice Hangout chat right now. This is the non-fungible DAO. In the thread, they say win NFT, and they say soon in all caps. Make sure to put their notifications on. I would anticipate the token being pretty similar to these other NFT marketplace tokens in terms of like how you qualify with volume or like listing and bidding and all that kind of stuff on Magic Eden platform itself. We'll see. They haven't explicitly given any guidelines around that yet. I know there was a thread. I was trying to find it around like Magic Eden tickets. I don't know if that was a field report in MVHQ or if it was just a Twitter thread that was going around. But I know they have an NFT themselves that's called Magic Eden tickets, and people are obviously speculating that owning these tickets will give you some kind of airdrop bonus or multiplier. So that's something to look into as well. If anyone has any more info than what I broke down on the Magic Eden airdrop, then please, I'd love to hear more as well.
Yeah, same. Please, yeah. Where are the Magic Eden maxis? Good shout on the tickets. That was going to be my next question. Was like, do you know of any like levers or any like ways to get involved or get more involved or increase allocation? So good shout there. Anybody else have anything?
I'm not a maxi, but I think an interesting topic to maybe cover is everyone was so heavily geared towards Tensor over the last several weeks, months, et cetera, right? And so think that there's an impending airdrop, AMMing, all those kinds of things. And now it feels a little bit like the tune shifting towards Magic Eden. And so I don't know. I don't have any opinions on it yet. I'm just wondering if anybody has any thoughts on that. If we think that volume is going to move back towards Magic Eden now as a result of the nerfing that took place. I don't have any formed opinions there.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I'd love to chop that up. I never really understood, just personal take here. I never really understood the hate that Magic Eden got. I feel like they've been pretty good, like a pretty good kind of like industry leader, as far as like integrating other chains and stuff. Like, I mean, they were on top of Ordinals. Yeah, I don't know. I got respect for Magic Eden. I don't understand some of the shade they get from some directions.
I've got a little bit of context to add when it comes to the Magic Eden token thing. And mind you, this context was about a year ago, but when I talked with Jack, who's the CEO and founder of Magic Eden, he basically was trying to sell Magic Eden. He was talking with OKX at the time for a potential acquisition. This was probably around March 2023, April. And that's one data point. The other data point is that probably, I want to say October 2022, when I had first met Jack, their plan was to never launch a token. He wanted to do in and out. He's classic Google employee, just wants to sell his company and sort of move on. And, carrying that months later into 2023, it made sense that he was, trying to actually sell Magic Eden. So I'm not sure how a gameplay can shift so quickly in a very little amount of time, but I guess this is Web3 after all. So a little bit of context.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Good to know. Yeah, it looks like they did. I guess, this is probably, maybe they still can sell, and maybe this is kind of part of their plan, is that they want to do a token first, and I'm not sure. Little double bonus, little double dip action maybe for him. We'll liquidity from the token and then sell the company as well. We'll see what happens.
Wires Magic Eden? Question mark.
Don't they have a DAO now that they're doing all this reward stuff from?
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about a bit. Yeah, it's they're decentralizing. They're putting all their protocols into this DAO, non-fungible DAO. They announced earlier today. And that's where the token's going to be coming from as well. NFT, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ticker for a token. I think
It's a good
as
ticker.
what Aslo was saying, along the lines of like how do we approach it? I haven't had a ton of time to think about this. I'm like, I want to like start just focusing on Magic Eden now, especially after like there's been a good amount of FUD on Tensor recently because of them retroactively pulling points away from some of these collections that people were farming, and they didn't realize that they're just like not supposed to farm. They never gave any guidelines around it, so people are, I think, understandably upset with Tensor for that. So maybe some volume goes back to Magic Eden. I think I wanna probably allocate more to Magic Eden. I probably will, but I'm a little bit hesitant with them saying that the token is soon. That maybe that they are already most of what the allocation is going to be attributed to activity maybe before this date. And hopefully it's not like too late, I guess is what I'm saying.
And also, whoa, I have an echo. If you're worried about like the Tensor, Magic Eden, and doing Solana activity, you could always use Magic Eden for several other chains, especially all the BTC stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. All
I
the
also-
ordinals.
I just have one other like cynical comment that's standing out to me, because I know like a lot of us are farming airdrops and all that. And I was speaking with someone about this the other day. It kind of feels a little bit like, since airdrops, like, the mega meta that's going on, right? It feels like some of these protocols and otherwise are using airdrops as a ploy to get activity. and then may not actually have an airdrop afterwards. And I know that sounds kind of silly with me saying that, but I think it's like pretty likely that that's the case. So I almost feel like watching out for that and getting like really solid signals on things to use time well. It's something that like I'm certainly spending time on and trying to play probabilities, because I've seen at least a couple cases where it's either been super underwhelming what they do, or it just feels off, like they're just using it as a marketing tool, if that makes sense.
Dude, yeah, I'm all the way on the end of the cynical spectrum. Aslo, I would say probably 90% of these people say they have an airdrop plan before they have any plans whatsoever. It's just free words. You just type out some words on a keyboard, and that's your, no marketing budget. You just say, hey, man, airdrop. And then maybe they have a referral system or something like that, or points or whatever, as they sort of cobble it together as they go. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I've seen quite a few cases where it's like, you don't really have a plan, do you? Or at least it feels that way. Are we farming the airdrops, or are the airdrops farming us? Huh?
Who knows? Um, kind of as an aside, but related, I guess. Tensor announced that they're like leverage trading NFTs addition to their platform. Way to long and short. I guess it's exclusive access right now. Um, at the moment, it seems like it's beta. I think that might be the first one on Sol. I'm not sure of any other Sol ones that I know of. Maybe there are.
For NFTs, I'm longing Bored Apes somewhere, but I think it's on Mantle.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Mantle.
yeah. I'm talking about Sol NFTs.
Yeah. I know that so like obviously Mantle's what is an L1 or L2, but they use ETH. But yeah, I was just thinking that because it was a Bored Apes on Mantle, but it's not Bored Apes on Mantle. It's you can long them on Mantle. I had a question about the smart layer thing. I think THC, you were talking about it.
Yeah.
How long has their Discord been full? Have you noticed?
Oh.
They have like 500. They're at that 500,000 limit capacity. I was trying to join it.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I have no idea. They may have bad bot controls or something.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
19,000 online, 500,000 members.
Good God, they need a purge.
Yeah. And then, are we going to get into the Gunzilla stuff a little bit more detail, or is that kind of done with people who've made their decisions?
I hadn't planned on it. If we have, I guess if Mitch or Jacob wanted, maybe we could circle back towards the end. If it's just a quick question. I mean, I can't answer your question, but if they're here, then potentially. So give a second here.
Yeah, Mitch gave me a little bit, but okay. Sorry, I didn't see that you responded, Mitch. Okay, I was just wondering if we had any idea when some liquidity would be coming back to us for investing through MVHQ.
Yeah, we've also got Deathstrike here, Seth, and everyone that's interested and has any questions regarding Gunzilla. He's been leading the drive for analyzing and bringing it to HQ, as well as Jinzo and Seinfeld, so they're the closest to it. We sort of got a look at the entire deal overview provided by Deathstrike and the team, so we made the decision to thus bring it to HQ. But you could speak with them directly here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, GM Deathstrike. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, brother. Yes, I guess if you have questions, go ahead and field those towards Deathstrike, just so we can kind of keep this moving along and cover some more stuff here. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we have a community investment thread as well. There's a lot of chatter in there about it. A lot of discussion as well. If you have more questions, you guys can talk in that Gunzilla community investment thread.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just switch gears here, move us along. I want to talk about a couple mints that are happening this week or early next week. The first being a follow up. We talked a bit last Wake and Jake about the quantum cats. I just wanted to follow up on that. I'm sweating a little bit because I don't see Cough Drop in the audience here. I was kind of relying on my man there. But it's all good. I'll do my best to give a shot here. He shouted out the Sotheby's auction that was going on, and I forget what his prediction was at the time. We'll have to run back the tape and see what his prediction was. But the current bid for the Genesis Quantum Cat on Sotheby's is at $140,000 right now. So shoo-wee. 58 bids. It closes in an hour and a half or an hour and 34 minutes. But yeah, 140K for this 1-1 is pretty wild. They
Yeah.
they have a contest of some sort. Again, I'm not the authority on this. I do know they have a contest that closes in 2 days. I don't know if it's getting the showered for a whitelist or something of that vein, but I do know there is a contest ongoing that ends in 2 days. So if you've got I don't know, some free time, or if you have a hunger to get in on this, I think there is still a little bit of time for a shot at it. The mint is actually going to be on Monday. I'm not sure about the time, so I wanted to go ahead and get this out here now in case it's before Wake and Jake next week. But yeah, mint will be Monday. The contest ends in 2 days. The Sotheby auction ends in an hour and a half. But yeah, again, we're sitting at 140K, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think the contest is similar kind of like to the shower thing, where you have to make some kind of video about the cats. I don't know, the videos in my opinion have been pretty cringe, but I guess you got to do what you got to do to get a nice whitelist. So I don't I don't hate on anyone trying to get it if it's worth some good money, which these probably will be, since the wizard things are expected to be a lot of money as well. Yeah, I don't have a ton of info. I've admittedly have not been following the Ordinals ecosystem enough as I'd want to. But if anyone has any Quantum Cat thoughts, opinions, or anything we missed that's important, let us know. I know the mint is on the 29th, so a week from today on Monday.
We might have to start a summoning circle and try and conjure Cough Drop here. See if that works. But all good if not. It's definitely worth a shout, though. Something to keep on your radar.
Let me. I'll text him for us.
Oh shit. Okay. Cool. Two other mints. Again, I don't have a ton of information on these, but one I wanted to shout out because there's a pre-mint open, and that one is PlayEmber. That one is going to be minting on Thursday. They've got some pretty crazy stats. I was kind of just poking around a little bit, but yeah, they're partnered with Exterio, so they're launching through Exterio. That's the Overworld guys. They're the Dino Mint. They're just kind of dominating. They're kind of making a play. It seems like they're taking over Web3 gaming. All these mints have been very successful, and their partners seem top notch. A little bit about PlayEmber. They have an app on Android and iOS. They have over 120 million downloads. 120 million downloads. They've got 1 million active users. They list some investors and stuff on their website. Under partners, they have Nickelodeon and Animoca. Definitely something happening here. The supply is going to be 2,750, so 2,750 supply. And there is an active pre-mint. I'm dropping that voice hangout chat right now that you can go sign up for. So it's definitely worth a couple seconds of your time to just go and try and get in on that pre-mint. Good luck. But yeah, that was one I just wanted to flag a mint for this week. And then another one is going to be Farcana. Farcana is like a third-person shooter game backed by Animoca, and they have an Ordinals mint, which I thought was interesting. I don't have any more information. I just thought it was interesting that a gaming NFT is doing an Ordinals mint, and figured it's worth the shout. But if anybody has any insights on those or any other projects that they're looking out for this week, any pre-mints that we can join with a couple clicks, then feel free to come on up here and let us know about it. Or you can type it out, voice hangout chat, and we can maybe suss through some stuff.
As far as the Farcana Ordinals mint goes, that one is going to be free. I think it's only like 100 supply or something like that, and it's supposed to get token allocations and whitelist spots for future Farcana related stuff. I'm not entirely sure how you get an allow list for that, but that's about what I know about it.
Sounds like alpha. Sounds competitive. Fuck, 100. You said 100 of them?
I think, yeah.
Chewy.
By the way, thanks for dropping in, Cough Drop. I think the boys wanted to get your take on something.
Cough Drop, GM. Welcome. Yeah, man, we were covering Quantum Cats for a second here. Was shouting out the 140K bid. What was your prediction on the Sotheby's auction? I can't remember. Are you close here?
I think I said around 120,000. So it's going well. I mean, the team has proven that they are looking to max extract with the 0.1 BTC mint over 3,000 units. So I think it comes out to around $13 million. But personally, I'm still going to mint. I think it is a full send at the price. It's one of these sad situations where, yes, they are cash grabbing, but yes, I do believe I can make money off of it. I think they trade secondary around 0.18 to 0.22 BTC. The quest ends in about 24 hours, I believe. So there's 3 parts to the quest. You need to put out a tweet. Or first you need to pledge allegiance to one of the sides in Discord. It's like either dead or alive, a little mini game they're doing. Then you tweet, and then you do like an informational thread. Not gonna lie, you could just chat GBT it and it'll come up with something good enough, and then a video. It's like cringe, but I mean, I think it's free money still at this price. And if a lot of people hate on the mint price, which they will, it could go to public as well, so I could get some more there.
Hell yeah. Awesome insights. Yeah, appreciate the alpha there. Well, at the end of the day, what is the price of a little cringe, Like what's that worth really?
Yeah, also I think a way you have to look at it, like I compared it to potatoes and captains last time, and mutant apes and apes, but the Taproot Wizards is their true number one collection that they really want to push. So Quantum Cats failing it's one of these situations where they want this collection to do well because it affects their ability to cash grab a second time in the future. So I believe they will be trying to push this collection pretty hard, and it's one of these situations where they're trying not to let it fail, or else it really screws them.
That's a great shout. I was actually wondering about that, like, because I've heard about the Wizards for forever now, and I thought they'd actually already minted. Like, I'm surprised they haven't minted yet. So, do you know what's the reasoning that they're doing these cats all of a sudden before the actual Wizard mint?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. The Wizards themselves have been inscribed for a full year as of January 31st, and I'm not too sure. I guess because they could just bring in more money and expand the community. They saw Node Monkeys be able to command really good secondary action at a 10,000 unit supply. The Wizards are only 2,100 units, and I guess they wanted to expand the ecosystem to cats with the 3,333. Also, the cats, like, I'm not too much of an expert on Ordinals, the mechanics behind it, but the cats have varying levels of like metadata and art that unfold over time. So I thought that was somewhat interesting. I know it doesn't justify the price, but at least they're trying to do something. The art's going to flip. They said multiple times, so to new cats. So I guess it's interesting.
I feel like I do like projects that try something new, but I feel like that's been done on ETH, and like people don't really like that. They like to have the one that they bought,
Yeah, it's actually, I don't think it's ever really worked on ETH. But Bitcoin, it really comes down to the fact that this guy Udi has built a cult, and he clearly has a lot of influential friends in the Bitcoin community, like to be able to get people like Kobe to rock the Taproot Wizard along with a lot of others at one point. It's pretty impressive. And I think it may seem like a really high mint price, and it is, but I do think there's room for profit here.
I love
Yeah, I
that
think I
we
agree with
can. I love that we can call a spade, and you're just like, yeah, he's got a cult, straight up.
Yeah, it really
The
is.
calls are pretty bullish, honestly.
They are. I was getting so annoyed with the dude the past couple months tweeting. Like, he sometimes these ordinal people really, they love to hate on laser eye maxis when in reality, like, if you love ordinals, I guess you're kind of like a laser eye maxi too. So I don't know why they hate on him so much. We all want Bitcoin to go up. It's fun for everyone. So hating on
Yeah,
people that want that, it's just like, I always thought it was a little weird.
I agree. Yeah, lifts all boats. Why are we fighting?
yeah. Sweet, man.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Um,
Cough Drop. I did want to ask too, just with the ordinal conversation, we had talked last week about the pizza ninjas, and those have now minted. I'm seeing some PFPs in the audience now. I didn't really keep an eye on it or track it too hard. Was that a big win, or is it a sore subject, or how we feeling
Huge
about the
win.
pizza ninjas? Huge win. Let's go.
Huge win.
GG.
Yeah.
GG.
Trevor, very intertwined with MVHQ. I know a lot of people here got that allow list, and they were able to mint. And if they wanted to sell, they were able to get 3x and some even a little above that for a huge win. I mean, he's built a good community, and I think it'll be like a very low volume collection going forward, but just from the low supply and good community and how active he is, it's definitely gonna hold pretty good price, it seems. So good for him and his community.
Yeah, hell yeah. Congrats to Trevor, and of course, congrats to anybody that minted. GG.
love to see it. I did not get in. I keep fading ordinal stuff, and I keep losing because of it. Losing opportunities, I should say. So I don't know what I'm thinking.
Man, that's funny. I saw an article or like a headline that the Trump trading cards are coming to ordinals too, and I'm like, fuck! Like Trump's interns are on ordinals before me. What am I doing?
Yeah, what is that, like his fourth collection now?
Probably. I think so. Yeah, or third. Yeah, fourth. Because now it's the ordinal of the mugshot. Good lord.
Yeah, ordinals is such an interesting subject. Like there will be so many cooks there, but also a lot of the stuff with the whole block trading time and everything, you can't really do meme projects, so to speak. Like I guess that Bitcoin puppets thing did pretty well, but it's tough to really trade on there. It's more like you buy and hold and pray it doesn't go to zero. So it's like you could get wrecked really easy buying a lot on ordinals.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have some stuff from back that I just held, and I feel like it was kind of like more meme-ish at the time when ordinals was like popping off. I think it was maybe in the summer, maybe before, maybe in the spring, and those are like none of those are doing well anymore. I feel like you probably just gotta go for the good ones. That makes sense. It's not Solana.
Speaking of Solana, did you guys talk about any of the Magic Eden stuff today yet?
Yeah, we were just discussing that a bit. Do you have any takes there?
I mean, I'm biased because I have some of the Magic tickets, so I don't know if they'll reward them. Probably not. It seems like they're forming a whole new DAO, whatever this non-fungible DAO is. I personally think Magic Eden's a pretty good marketplace, just because they're I think it's a little more user friendly than Tensor, and I guess Tensor's getting hit with some FUD lately. But I'm waiting to hear more on what this token means, like how closely related it is. It's pretty clearly it's them, but there's like really no info yet. So I'm kind of just standing on the sidelines till then.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. We were talking about like maybe it's already like snapshots taken because they said it was soon. So I don't even know if like I can farm it anymore. Maybe. I agree. I think it's going to be a valuable airdrop. At least it should, in terms of market cap. Um, it's a big company, right? And ton of connections. They're the leading Bitcoin marketplace. So
Big cough drop. Just pure speculation. Is it assumed that the token, if they airdrop a token, would be living on Solana? That's the first part. And if that is the case, which I'm assuming, do you think that they're going to consider all chain activity, or do you think they're going to consider BTC activity as well as Solana activity?
Yeah, I think to your first question, I think it would definitely be a Solana coin to kind of take advantage of the hype on the chain, all the liquidity there at the moment. And that's really what they started as. And then they expanded into all these different marketplaces over the years. And for sure, I think they'll take advantage or take into account all chain activity. I know Bitcoin for them really was a saving grace for the company a little bit from what I hear. Some Ken from Citadel said that, but I'm not too sure. I think they were doing fine, but I know Bitcoin has been great for them, so there's no reason they should discount that volume as it's been such a help for their company.
Yeah, I hope so. Considering doing 1.1 Bitcoin in volume versus 0.1 Solana in volume is a hell of a lot more fees for them.
Yes, seriously. Ken is actually from Citadel. He's the real person. That is true, Asla.
wait, what?
Nah, that's Grantland. That's his alias.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying now.
So one question that I have for everybody, and I know my opinion on this, but I'm curious what other people think before I start talking about my opinion. Do we think Yuga is involved behind the scenes, pulling the strings to a degree with this? Or do you think that they're completely separate from this?
I think Yuga 100% is involved in this because people need an incentive to wrap their Bored Ape onto the new Magic Eden marketplace so they can have enforced royalties. And what better incentive than saying, hey, if you wrap your NFT, you might get this token airdrop. So I think that's definitely probably the way they get people to wrap it to enforce royalties. And I don't know if it's true, but I also heard Azuki maybe doing the same thing too.
I was just about to say, I don't think it's just going to be apes. They're trying to kind of like the way that this is being promoted, the NFT DAO, and the way that they're talking about, decentralization and open sourcing. It like smells of Yuga to me.
That's interesting. It makes a lot of sense, that thesis, for sure. I mean, the if you think about the incentives for these organizations, they want to get they want to get that sweet royalty money that they're making, and we already know that they're working together. So that's a great call.
Yeah,
I wonder how they would like continue to, though. I understand like the initial getting people over there, but you kind of have to like continuously reward, right? It can't just be you can do like a short period where you airdrop and you farm airdrop points or whatever by getting people to wrap and transferring over to this royalty marketplace. But for like a long-term sustainability, I wonder how they would address that.
Yeah, that is a big question. Like, I guess apes could always say, like, oh, any future benefits are only available to wrapped tokens on the Magic Eden, blah, blah, blah. And Azuki with their, whatever their token is, their fake anime token, we'll see if that's even a thing.
Another thing to keep in mind, like what you were saying about the wrapped apes or whatever, is they recently changed the contract for CryptoPunks, and now they're like the wrapped CryptoPunks. With they like changed the branding from like pink to green or whatever, but new contract for CryptoPunks, and they switched everything over there. So it's not like impossible for that to happen to apes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they're also doing a Twitter space about that. I don't know when. I read something about it, and I think the OG Matt and John or whatever their name is, the CryptoPunk founders, are talking. So I want to listen to that if I missed it, the replay.
No end in sight for the royalty wars. People are gonna go where they can make the most money. That's like whatever it is. So we'll see. I guess competition's a good thing for the users.
Speaking of competitions, I was going to ask if anybody knew anything about Blast Testnet, or if anybody has, if there's a way to dabble, or if there's anything that I should be doing there. I haven't looked at it. I just saw that they're having sort of like the builder contest, people to make dApps and stuff.
Yeah,
Trying to attract some builders. Yeah. What is there anything I should be doing?
you can use Sepolia testnet ETH on it right now. Who was it? Was it Hans the Human or somebody posted last week that there was a Blast NS site for making like a name service site. It's not obviously not backed, or it's not recognized by Blast yet, but you can mess around there, do do some transactions and stuff. I was trying to monitor the Blast testnet chain monitor, the Explorer, and trying to see new contracts coming in, to see if I could jump on early testnet activity there. But I minted like 15 or 20 SNSs or Blast NSs. You just need to get some Sepolia ETH over there, and there's an easy way to bridge. I still have the Medium article, I can share it, but it's a weird bridge. So you get your Sepolia on ETH, and then you send it to an address, and it sends it back to your address on Blast Testnet.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. So I'm just like casually monitoring for new contracts over there for this reason, just to see if there's any early activity you can get in.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, great shout.
And if you want to do that SNS just for early, or I keep saying SNS, but whatever, I got you. It was Hans the Human, and he posted it on January 18th in the Blur Blast focus discussion.
Hans, man's legend. Sweet. Yeah, I'll open a tab so I don't forget to do that, and I'll put it right next to Barachain to get to that eventually.
Yep. And I don't know if you want to pin. You might want to pin that because it is the Medium article with all the information.
Oh, was it just Invoice Hangout?
I'm gonna tag you right now.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
There it is.
Anybody still just hammering away at this migrate smart layer button? Let me in.
Yeah, I was trying to do it, but then I was a little disappointed I couldn't get in the 500,000 person Discord because that's some points also.
Listen, man, it's an exclusive club, all right?
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I mean, does anybody have any other topics, mints, chains, whatever, questions that they wanna throw out here? We can keep chopping it up, but yeah, if we've kind of exhausted big talking points, we can maybe just cut the recording here. But definitely want to hear from you guys if there's anything on your all's radar or something that we didn't cover this episode that is pressing for the week.
One other thing. It's Deez Nuts. Actually, though, the project is launching their AMM automated market maker pool. I think on the 25th. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I might have that wrong, but it's sometime this week. I know. Maybe it's the 24th. But basically, what that means is right now it's like super annoying to trade on the actual on Tensor because it's like considered an NFT, I guess. But once they do the AMM, then you can kind of trade it like a shitcoin, and it'll be on like Bird Eye and Dex Screener and all those, where you build a lot easier to trade, and you don't have to like bundle like a BRC20 token. You do. It's like essentially that right now. So it should be, I think, a decent catalyst. I think it's pretty cool. It's like a new token incentive. The Deez Nuts is called Tiny SPL, where it allows basically. I'm not like a big tech guy, but from my understanding, when you have tokens, you have to like create rent essentially on Solana. You have to pay a rent on Solana and per account that specific token's open for, like per wallet. And with Tiny SPL, that eliminates that need. So it's pretty cool addition in my opinion. I don't think it's gotten a ton of buzz yet, but maybe once it's easier to trade, I'm speculating like maybe like the threaders are waiting for that to happen. They're stacking their bags right now, and then they'll do the thread about how cool it is later. But thought I'd mention that. I know Asla's been working with the team a bunch. I don't know if Asla, if you're around, do you have any more info aside from that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said is right. I mean, the thing that stands out to me more, is that the technology is good and it is genuinely valuable. I mean, totally pinned it on his Twitter account originally. So there's obviously innovation that exists there, but there is a pathway. There is actually a roadmap that does exist for making this a standard and then having leverage over projects and giving holders access possibly, right? So on and so forth. So there's something here. This isn't just like vaporware. It's not just a shitcoin. It's a shitcoin plus, I guess. But also I think the community is very strong. Everyone seems to be very rallied around it, probably because the name, although I know it's not the first Deez Nuts that's ever existed. So I think it's also worth looking at the community too. So I think the community is very, very strong here.
Aslan, what was the date that the AMM's launching again?
2024. Target
24.
24. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Wednesday. Sick.
And also, I think if you look at other data, I guess the other thing that stands out to me is it's still at a very low market cap, right? I don't know what it is at currently. It's probably, what is it, like 4 million-ish? I don't know, something in that range probably, if I had to guess. And it's taken a little bit of time to build, right? To build towards this AMM and do all this stuff. But everything's been, pretty much what's been agreed on every time, which is nice. And it stayed relatively stable through there, right? And maybe at one point it dipped to 0.008. Sorry, some decimals here. Whatever, 0.008 or 0.008, whatever it was, for one. And I think that was maybe even a bit lower than that. But generally speaking, it's been very, very stable. And of course, recently has gone more towards, 0.2, per 100. So I don't know. You look at like the chart. I'm sure you'll see that the chart's pretty solid considering what's been happening in the project as well. So I don't know. I agree with you. Cautiously optimistic, but I think it's pretty unique and set up pretty well.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I'm not sure if we gave this disclaimer at the beginning of the show, but none of what we say is financial advice. We can't press the buy and sell buttons for you. That's on you to do. So please do your own research, make your own decisions. Obviously, we're just here, give insights, and hopefully they're helpful to help you, make more informed decision making.
And Gunzilla is about to be done, right? The second, right?
Yep. If you want to get your Gunzilla investment in, do it now or it's about to close.
Final call.
Yeah, sorry for the window that was short. It was kind of like a last second thing that was spun up for us. The investment opportunity at Gunzilla. I think in the future, for these kind of things, we'll give the community more time to do their own research and make decisions. This was just kind of a thing where we need to get them the money by a certain time. It was a last second opportunity. We thought it was good enough that we would offer it to you guys. So even in a short window of time.
I know you can't press the buy and sell button for us, but can you take down my Christmas decorations?
I cannot. You should have done that a while ago.
Dude, I don't know what's going on this year.
Just ping us when you sell, Jake.
So I don't want to. I always feel uncomfortable talking about things that I'm invested into. It just so happens that that tends to be where my eyes are, right? And I'm studying it more. So full disclosure that these things I definitely hold. So full disclosure here. But I think Flash I've been covering in the past, but most people are aware of what's going on there. It's not worth talking about so much. I just think it's a little bit of a soft market, but the team's still doing what they're saying and expanding and all that kind of good stuff. The one that does stand out to me a little bit that I don't feel like is getting enough attention, and again, it's just everyone has to make their own call on this in personal opinion, but the one that I feel like is not getting enough attention and that I've tried to ping about a little bit is MockJup. MockJup was the test jupe that was released leading up to the 31st, right, when they're releasing jupe. And Meow is a little bit crazy, as you guys know, as a dev. And that community, it's worth going in there if you're not in the Jupiter Discord. That community, for MockJup specifically, is absolutely nutso. Like crazy nutso. What's interesting about it from a brand standpoint is that I don't think I've ever seen the community, maybe I'm wrong here, that's been so aggressively shouting for the token to go to zero. Like everybody's rooting for the token to go to zero, including Meow. It's super funny, and it's kind of turned into this crazy cult. And despite that, the market's a little soft today, so it went down a good bit. But you could look at the chart yourself. I would just take a look at it and monitor it and see what's going on there and make your own decisions. But I really feel like it could be the start of something. And I think the other thing with it too is that with Jupe coming up, with possibly even a meme coin coming up in between, although this may become the meme coin or may be it. I don't know. I just see like several outs that kind of exist here. It's an unusual thing coming out that we kind of haven't seen, in my opinion. It's just not just like a regular shitcoin. I would take a look in the Jupiter community and go into that channel and see what's going on, because I think it's actually very interesting what's happening there.
No, thank you. I appreciate the shout. I had a good amount of MockJup and I papered all of it. Unfortunately. But and then they ended up they cut the supply and by 90% or something like that, or 80%, and then it rocketed from there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, have they said anything? I've heard a theory that, because I know originally when they announced the Jupiter airdrop, they said they were going to do this MockJup as a test, and then they were going to do a meme coin.
Yeah.
Sometime this week, and then the Jupiter is going to be on the 31st. But I've heard theories that in fact this MockJup might be the meme coin itself.
So I'm going to give you my best shot at piecing this together. This is a little bit, I mean, you got to kind of experience it yourself. It's going in the Discord. It's not so, but here's my read on it so far. I think one possible theory that I'm seeing is that maybe Meow had in his mind that I'm going to release MockJup as the testnet coin, and people are so degen and such lunatics in Web3 that if this thing starts to blow up, maybe that becomes the meme coin. So maybe giving himself optionality possibly. So I think it's possible that becomes the meme coin. I think it's possible that you need to hold this to be able to get the meme coin or get airdropped the meme coin. I've heard theories about it being possible that this will give a multiplier or bonuses or whatever for actual juke drop. I think it's possible that none of those is possible, or somewhere in between. And, it's just become a meme in and of itself that's independent from the actual meme. I think these are all possible, but, and I think when you stack all these up and then you look at the community too, I just see a community that's absolutely nutso about this thing. So even after they cut the supply 80 to 90%, like you're saying, Jake, it spiked after that a little bit, but then it spiked again after that, right? Just kind of the community, because the community's nuts. And the interesting thing about everybody shouting for zero is that it kind of like indirectly suggests that people just don't want to sell. They don't give a shit because they're happy with the results if it goes to zero also, right? It's really interesting, but I don't know. I see just lots of different outs there. Again, zero financial advice on anything. I just cover this a little bit more because I'm in it, but it's definitely interesting what's happening at the very least.
Appreciate you bringing it up, dropping some info on it. It was not completely off of my radar, so I had no idea this existed. So it sounds interesting. Sounds like something to dive into the rabbit hole on.
Just don't be shocked when you go into the community and everybody is pounding the Discord for it to go to zero at every little turn. It's something.
Sounds fun.
Maybe one other thing we could touch on before we wrap up like the official show is this ETH NFTs have actually been some select ones, some former blue chips that have since kind of faded a little bit into the limelight from other new projects taking over, but are kind of seeing a pump recently. Cool Cats, for instance, was like around 0.65, I think, over the weekend, and they pumped all the way up to like 1.2 yesterday. They're sitting around like around 1 ETH, a little over 1 ETH floor right now. And then also Doodles is seeing a pump as well. They were around like 1.75 or so, maybe around 2 over the weekend. Now they're up to 2.5 or so. And I think maybe this is a result of Pudgies, and it's kind of like a makeup pump, a catch-up pump type thing. Or maybe there's something else going on. I'm curious if anyone has any thoughts around these projects that I know a lot of us are either like holding bags of, or maybe are trying to get back into, or we're pretty familiar with the ecosystems. I'm curious if anyone has any thoughts or reasonings around most recent pumps around those.
I mean, I can just quickly say, obviously I'm not biased at all, but Cool Cats is the greatest collection that there is, and people need to put some respect on their name, NFA.
I'm a fan of the cats. I'm curious. I do agree. I think they've always been undervalued. Maybe it's the cute meta type thing, I guess, with Pudgies rocketing off. I guess Cool Cats and Doodles kind of fit the same cute type meta. I know we had one of those. That was like that was probably like my favorite meta back in the day when NFTs were popping off. We had all these cute projects that were going crazy as well. Like, I think that was when like Seals pumped a ton, and I don't know, a bunch of other ones I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But
yeah, that's
hopefully
good.
Hopefully that's the new meta here. Cute PFPs. If you see any cute PFPs minting, maybe that's a play.
Yeah, I like that take. I'm glad that you kind of brought it up and positioned it that way. I hadn't noticed that these were pumping, and I probably would have only eventually probably saw the cats. I don't check the price or anything often, but I probably would have just saw it and assumed, like usual, collections usually pump with like some insider knowledge before an announcement's made. So I would have thought it was an isolated thing. So I'm glad you're kind of pointing out that there could be a string connected here between the different cute PFPs. So yeah, great shout.
THC. Can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, what's up?
I'm sure you're still trying to do the smart pass thing. Have you looked at the perk side of things?
I'm sorry, I'm dead. Dino popped up in chat with his wolf PFP. Wolf's next. I've been clicking it maybe every couple minutes. I'm still just not. It's not hitting. But I did want to clarify. Let me scroll back up and see who that was. Thanks, Mr. S. He clarified here the smart layer claim, the migrate the pass thing. Earlier, I misspoke. I said it was a required step for the airdrop. It is, but the date is not. It doesn't end today to qualify for the airdrop. It's just you get an extra 300 points if you migrate before the end of the day, which it seems like they have some congestion. It's not working at the moment. Their Discord's full of bots, so you can't really get any help. But yeah, I was hammered away because I thought that this was like the end all be all cutoff. But it's just 300 extra points if you manage to migrate today. I assume you will have to migrate at some point. It does seem like that is a requirement. But thanks again, Mr. S, for the clarification there. Didn't mean to panic anybody with my statement earlier.
Yeah, the other thing I was asking you, JC, was on that site. There's next to quests it says perks. You can like claim your passkey wallet, earn points with a smart cat, and mint a smart cat toy. I don't know if you've tried any of those things, but they give you extra points also.
Ooh, good call. Yeah, I haven't tried them. Yeah, Wake and Jake, I usually just stick with THC. I haven't dabbled in the perks yet. But yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's a good shout. It looks like one of them you have to own a smart cat. Other ones there's two active. One is with a smart cat, and the other one is mint a smart cat toy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at
give those a look.
expired, there it looks like there was dress up and mint your smart cat also, so we missed that one. Not sure if you can buy those on secondary in order to participate in that the other active one right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not like super deep in the smart layer streets or anything. I just I did the basic stuff, connect, get the points, and just because I did that, I don't want to lose them, right? I want to make sure I'm at least hitting their deadline. But yeah, I'll suss it out a little bit more. Check out these.
Yeah,
Looks like it's not
I
a
didn't
lot
know
of
anything
points.
about this.
Yeah, it looks like it's not a lot of points on the one. It's only 75, but it looks like 20K points that you could potentially earn, or up to 20K points on the smart cat. So might be worth a look.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, any other closing thoughts from anybody? Any questions or stuff that we missed? Again, want to make sure that everybody has a chance to bring up any topics they're interested in. Now's definitely the time. All right. Well, let's go. I mean, obviously, we're going to continue the conversation here. If you're listening to this recording and you're not an MVHQ member, we basically have these talks all day long. So if you want to hear our full conversations 24/7, then you're going to have to go cop an MVHQ pass. But for everybody that is a member in here, yeah, guys, feel free to hang out and stay here. We're going to go ahead and cut the recording. I'll kick it over to Jake if he's got any final words. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here every Monday. Much love and good luck on all of the cooks and the plans and plots that you have for this week. You got
Thank you
anything
guys.
for
Thank
us?
you, THC.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, I love the joke earlier. I just said we saying on chat your perk joke. It took me a second to understand it.
Thank
That's
you.
well
Yeah. The puns never end.
done. Pun master himself. Yeah, guys, thank you for coming out. Yeah, we'll be chatting out all day. Thank you to everyone who participated in the combo. Really appreciate you giving your insights. Yeah, let's get it. A lot of cooks to be had this week. Let's get after it. Thanks, y'all.